In the steam-choked alley, Mira Rivet moves with a hunched posture, her youth overshadowed by deep worry. Her anxiety was caused by the entire city. Every perfect gear and precise automaton was judging her failures. The constant fear of being seen as less than the city's meticulous standard was the thing that truly made her breath tight. Every passing day since her father passed away, her mind was choked by the petty dust of life. Any problem bigger than a thumbnail and the whole system would seize up, spitting out chaos. She couldn't look up to the sky because she was too busy staring at the infinitesimal crack in the pavement. This was affecting work. Her studio was not producing any new design. In the heart of this clutter, Mira battles with a temperamental clockwork device, a project necessary for her diploma at Aethel Foundry. Her fingers tighten around the wrench as she struggles to adjust a stubborn pressure gauge. Her movements, once precise, become increasingly jerky and agitated. She finally snapped and threw away the wrench and the pressure clock. The failing clockwork mocks her with its incessant ticking. Each movement fuels her lack of concentration. Mira walks onto the expansive gear-driven bridge, the city sprawling below in a maze of brass and smoke. The bridge groans and grinds, but all Mira felt was a sneer at her failures. Looking at the bridge clock, Mira decided that she needed a grand, decisive solution. A new start, or perhaps just a word of advice from someone far removed from her small, airless world. Within the pulse of the colossal city, Mira thought of Hester Runnel, the old engineer, who maintained the Great Water Reservoir, a legend known for maintaining water lines and improving lives. Mira wrote to Madame Hester. She would visit Pneumatic Post Office every day, anxiously waiting, her eyes tracing the labyrinth of tubes waiting for an answer. Capsules shoot through the network with a whoosh, each carrying messages to their destinations. A metallic cylinder ejects from the system, hurtling towards Mira's designated tray. The cylinder with a message lands on the tray. An invitation from Hester Runnel. After months of requesting an audience, Mira was finally invited to the great reservoir of the beloved engineer. Mira stares at the cylinder, its cold metal surface, hinting at mysteries yet to unfold. Next morning, Mira walks with purpose along a worn path, each step carrying her away from the sprawling steampunk city. The distant reservoir shimmers, a beacon of tranquility amidst the stark landscape. The air grows lighter, carrying the scent of open water and whispering grasses. The relentless hum of the city fades, replaced by the gentle rustling of leaves. A sense of hope flickers in Mira's eyes as she breathes deeply, embracing the newfound serenity. The path stretches before her, a ribbon of earth promising escape and renewal. Sunlight bathes Hester's tranquil garden, where a vast pond shimmers in the distance. Clockwork automatons whir softly as they meticulously tend to the vibrant plants. Hester Runnel welcomed Mira with her kind eyes and a warm smile. Her presence fills the garden with a sense of peace and quiet anticipation. She accompanies Mira, ready to share the beauty and serenity of her unique sanctuary. Sunlight floods Hester's workshop, casting a warm glow over the tools and blueprints scattered across the benches. Hester, her eyes filled with purpose, gestures towards a detailed model of the city's reservoir system. The model reservoir gleams, promising both innovation and responsibility. Mira and Hester sit at the reservoir's edge, as Mira talked about her anxieties, problems at work, and her chaotic life. Sunlight dances on the reservoir's surface, each ripple a fleeting spark of light. Hester's contemplative gaze sweeps across the water, her words as deep as the reservoir itself. The reservoir reflects the city's chaos, but also its potential for calm, Hester muses. When we concentrate only on our lives, each problem becomes a brass pebble in a teacup. It would displace all the liquid, and you can only taste the sediment. Drop the brass pebble here in this reservoir, and the surface barely ripples. You would need to widen your heart to absorb sorrow without turning bitter. Sunlight streams into Hester's kitchen, illuminating the gleam of copper and brass. She prepares coffee in a calm manner, as if performing a sacred ritual. A steam-powered coffee machine begins to whistle, its song, a complex melody that fills the room. Mira watches, her eyes wide with fascination at the intricate dance of making a cup of coffee at a pace she never experienced before. The kettle's whistle rises in pitch, a symphony of gears and pressure. Hester smiles gently at Mira, a silent invitation to partake in the magic of the moment. After the tea, Hester and Mira went for another walk. Mira said, "Look how the light shifts, almost imperceptible. See the way the orange bleeds into violet." Hester nodded. "You see a perfect violet color. But the air has taken up all the city's dirt, the coal smoke, the steam, the smell of failure, and spread it so thin, it disappears. Your mind is a sealed compartment. Look at the sky. It doesn't fight the pollution. It absorbs it. It gives the smoke so much space, so many miles to travel, that the soot simply becomes the beauty. The anxieties are that smoke, child. Give them room to travel. Widen your vessel to the size of the whole sky, and the darkness will transform into color." The volume of this reservoir wasn't built in a day, Mira. It was built across decades. Your father's passing, the chaos in your work, that's a great flood of salt, and I see that it burns you. You demand to see the water clear immediately, but you must be willing to wait and follow the steady flow. The solution isn't a blast of steam. It's the sheer volume of time passing through you. In Hester's library, the towering shelves loom, filled with books spanning engineering, philosophy, and nature. The air hangs still, heavy with the scent of aged paper and forgotten stories. Mira's fingers trace the spines, her silhouette a dance of curiosity against the silent backdrop of literature. Bathed in the gentle glow of lamplight, Hester sits engrossed, a world unfolding within the pages of her book. Sunlight glints off the vast reservoir as Mira stands, poised at the water's edge. Frustration flickers across Mira's face as her initial attempts at skipping stones end in clumsy splashes. With focused adjustments, Mira's throws gain skill, the stones dancing further across the water's surface with each attempt. Unbeknown to Mira, Hester was watching her all along. She exclaimed, "Mira, the moment you find the right angle and the right touch, the stone becomes malleable. It wasn't brute force. You didn't conquer the stone and water. You learned their rhythm." Sunlight floods Hester's workshop, illuminating the dust and the tools of a lifetime spent tinkering. Hester's weathered hands guide Mira's youthful ones, their focus intense as they work on the intricate gears of a broken clockwork bird. "Patience, Mira," Hester advises, her voice gentle yet firm. "Each tiny piece has its place. Force will only break it further." The scent of oil and metal hangs heavy in the air as Hester imparts her wisdom. Precision is everything in this craft. A hair's breadth can mean the difference between flight and failure. In the misty morning, Mira walks alone by the still reservoir, the heavy mist softening the world around her. A serene calm washes over Mira as she finds a moment of peace amidst the enveloping mist. The soft light of dawn kisses her face, highlighting a sense of resolution and acceptance in her eyes. Sunlight floods Hester's kitchen, motes of dust swirling in golden rays. As Mira watches Hester at the counter, the air is thick with the scent of herbs and spices, a fragrant invitation to the heart of the home. Hester's knife flashes as she expertly chops vegetables, a dance of precision and care. "See how the colors of the carrots mirror the sunset?" Hester asks, her eyes twinkling with earthy wisdom. "Nature provides everything we need, not just for sustenance, but for joy." Mira's gaze softens, her understanding deepening. "It's more than just eating, isn't it? It's about connection." "Exactly," Hester affirms, her voice filled with gentle conviction. "When we understand our connection to the earth, we understand our connection to ourselves. And that, my dear, is true well-being." Under the starlit night, Mira and Hester stand by the reservoir, their faces turned upwards to the inky sky. Hester said, "Mira, you see the stars? Your troubles are real, but when your heart is this wide reservoir, it gives the pain infinite space to reflect, and it becomes a shimmering glow. Hester gave her a task to design and build a device to measure the amount of sediment in the water of the reservoir, so the filters can be adjusted accordingly. Measuring sediment means understanding the flow, volume, and conditions across the entire reservoir, forcing Mira to adopt the wide heart perspective instead of focusing on narrow points. Mira's problem was that her mind was choked by the petty dust of life. The literal task was to measure and manage the sediment in the water. This was the perfect task for Mira. Driven by a profound purpose, Mira was successful in designing the device to measure the level of sediment in the reservoir. Under the bright sun, Mira stands poised at the reservoir's edge, her movements precise as she calibrates her device. The device awakens with a series of beeps and whirs, scanning the water's surface with focused intensity. Numbers flash across the screen, confirming the device's successful measurement of the sediment. A wide smile blossoms across Mira's face, a radiant display of pride and accomplishment. Her success is mirrored in the sunlit water, a moment of triumph against the vast backdrop of the reservoir. Sunlight floods the cozy kitchen. Hester was delightful. "This tea is clear, Mira, and the readings from your sediment sampler confirmed it. You built an elegant tool, Mira. I still feel the weight of things, though. The grief is still there, but all things considered, I feel lighter." Hester said, "You recalibrated your perspective. That's good work. But don't mistake calibration for completion. The reservoir will collect more dust tomorrow, and so will your mind. You are lighter because your mind is wider. The great struggle of life is not avoiding the obstacles. It's being ready when they finally arrive." High above the city, Mira stands at the reservoir's edge. She understood that she has conquered the hill, but the mountain range is still ahead.